Hello, welcome to day 9 of Change Journal July. The prompt for today is balance. Finding balance is something that I struggle with at the moment. Taking care of our son is taking up most of my time, so it's hard to remember who I am besides a mom. I don't know if you can see it, but on the left side of the page I wrote down I am a mom, and on the other side I wrote down I am Anouk. Then I wrote down a few things that makes me me. This is just a fun little exercise that I like to do to clear my mind. I always try to create balance in my spreads by doing things similar on each side of the page. So when I glue down something on the left side, I also glue down something on the right side. Depending on the layout that I want to create, I decide if I'm going to copy my movements or work in a crossover way. I'm using my Mod Podge to glue down some collage elements. I like to use dry tea bags to blend all the elements together. Next I'm grabbing a brand new Gesso jar. It's always a special moment when you peel the top layer off. There's so much Gesso on it that I'm going to work from that instead of from the jar itself. I like to apply gesso and paint with my fingers, but sometimes it gets a little bit too thick, so I'm using a baby wipe to smooth it all out. I don't want to cover up the whole page. I like it when you still see some part of the background. Now I'm grabbing a vintage word stamp to create some texture on the background of my page. I have this beautiful floral napkin that I'm going to use to make sure that my page is coming all together. I'm using a small wet brush to almost like cut out the flower that I want to use of the napkin, and then I did the same for the larger flower. So instead of using a scissor to cut out the flower, I'm using a wet brush. My idea is to have a small flower on the left side that represents me being a mom, and a larger flower on the right side that stands for me being me. The layer of the napkin that I'm using is just the upper layer. Now, napkins are usually 3 or 4 layers, and when you peel off the under layers, you will just get the layer with the print on. When you glue down that layer with Mod Podge or matte medium or any type of adhesive, the napkin becomes translucent and you will only see the printed parts. Now I'm adding some color with Dina Wakley's heather. It's just a beautiful soft purple color that I thought would look great with the purple tones of the flower. And as you can see, I'm applying the paint across from each other again to create a balanced feeling. To blend the colors with the background a bit more, I'm using Titan Buff Deep. It's my absolute favorite color to use for blending because it's just so neutral and it blends very well with the background. Then I'm making some scribbles with a gray pencil, and I'm grabbing a bit of coffee to create some mess. I just sprinkle some coffee down directly on the page and then I spray it with my water bottle. This creates such beautiful, pretty grunge marks of coffee that I really like. When I work with coffee, I don't really think about what I'm doing, I just have fun and create some movement in my page. I don't like to wait for the coffee to dry because it's very wet and messy, so I use my heat gun to make it quicker. I was missing some color, so I decided to create a few purple splatters. You can literally never go wrong with splatters. And then it was time to add some words. I wanted to make a connection with the words that I wrote down when I started my journaling session. So I grabbed my typewriter and I wrote down I am a mother, I am me, I am Anouk. I typed it with a lower uppercase, but I didn't really like how it looked. So I typed it again in a cap lock or uppercase, I don't really know how you call it. And I'm typing it on a vintage book paper with a thin layer of gesso that I pre-made, and I really like how this looks on my pages because I think it really blends the entire page together. Then I'm taking a long time to decide where to put my words. I thought about putting them next to each other or in the center of the page, but I wasn't really feeling it. So I ended up gluing them across from each other. I'm using some tea bags again to blend the words in with the background. And then I'm creating a bit of dimension by using the gray pencil. And as a last step, I'm grabbing my beloved and almost empty antique gold ink spray, and I'm splashing down a few drops of ink next to the words. And that's it for today. Here's my balanced junk journal spread about finding balance between being a mom and being me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see your creations.